Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match preview. AS Monaco versus Everton.
It's the big one.
It's the big one because
we're going
on a coach. On a coach.
On a coach for 14 hours.
4 million hours on a coach. What can you do? Absolutely petrified I am. You know,
that will be the longest game of I Spy ever.
God, ever. Longest game of hide and seek.
Have you got any top trumps?
I'll have a look. Zach might have some, I'll bring you. Monaco, obviously, playing. We played Sion at the weekend and it wasn't great, but you know, drew 0-0. But we'd expect to see a step up by Friday because obviously the work rate has gone up. The players who played for 45 minutes or so last week have had another week's training, and obviously a chance to see Fabian Delph as well. So a little bit more interest in this game for you.
Yeah, a little bit more.
I mean, the fact you're going.
I know, the fact I'm going, it makes it.
Listen,
they've had a good week, I would imagine. A lot of sessions. Where the training looks fantastic. Looks warm. Looks like there's altitude. Probably a couple of sessions a day. Looks like they're getting stuck in. You're not seeing too much of actually what they're doing on, obviously, which is good. Again, they're not. You know, that kind of thing is, it just seems like they're getting down to business, which is exactly what you need right now, because this is, like we said loads of times, this is where they get the core of their fitness for the season. So it's great that obviously the likes of Andre Gomez is involved where it wasn't last year. I'm sure like the likes of Theo Walcott, who didn't get involved, even though he didn't play on Sunday, I'm sure he's involved. Good that he has a pre-season, you know, if he's staying with us, which obviously it looks like he is, and it's good that he's getting a pre-season under his belt, because I do honestly think that affected him last season. No matter what anyone says about his performances, I do think not having a pre-season affected him when we really needed him.
Bernard as well.
Bernard, good, obviously, and it's good that Fabian Delph has joined in. So, listen, it's still pre-season. It's still only a game for fitness. The game could easily be played behind closed doors on a training pitch. It really could, and essentially that's what it is. It's just that because pre-seasons are the way they are now, we all have the curiosity and we all want to make sure we see it. So I think all we can hope for is, or all we ask, is that you just see that level of fitness goes up, and with the level of fitness go up, you see a little bit more football. And you know, for me, certainly in this part of training now in pre-season, it is all about the fitness. Maybe in the last couple of games that when we go to Germany, then you'll be looking for that, starting to see maybe things happening with the ball. But a lot of that happens on the training pitch anyway. So these games are that little reward for the end of the week, aren't they? That, you know, most players only get 45 minutes still at the moment. I think, you know, again, like I said, once they get home and then they separate that squad up, the people in the under 23s who are going back to the under 20s or on loan will go. Some players will come in, like with Charleston, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Yerry Mina, will be added to the squad, and then obviously you see a little bit more true definition of what the squad is.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, I'm looking for a little bit more joined up play in the final third than what we saw last week, and I'd expect that to come with fitness as well. Would have liked another couple of players in by now, but hasn't happened yet. Monaco, they've played 3 games so far. They beat Bruges 4-1, then they lost 5-0 to Lokeren, but it was the next day, so probably a different team. And then they were beaten by Lausanne 2-1 at the weekend. So, you know, they'll be a step up from Sion in terms of quality. They're playing Everton on Friday and they're playing Valencia on Saturday.
Yeah, so they'll
have they'll have split their team. So, you know, we'll see what's what. But I expect them to be better than Sion. Everton dominated the game against Sion the other day without being able to just didn't have enough shots. You know, second half was better. The first half was too pedestrian. So that's what I'm looking for. But it is really difficult to judge anything at the moment, because in the final third, where I think we were really lacking the other day, we've got Oumar Niasse, who's not going to be with us. We've got Fraser Hornby, who isn't going to be with us. You know, we're looking like a loan for him. We've got Nathan Broadhead, who's done okay. He's been lively, but he's not going to be with us. So it's that final third where you're looking for sharpness. You've only really got Bernard, who will operate in them areas, won't you? And Walcott, hopefully.
I think Gylfi as well. I think we've seen signs in the last game, Gilfie in the bar and in the post.
Yeah.
Not saying he's massively fit, but just that little bit of extra quality.
Yeah.
But again, it's difficult, isn't it? It's always in pre-season, because they're never the same. It's always difficult to judge. So last year we had the week in Austria, and then we played the game at the end of the weekend to Erding, who obviously were just a local team that we absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
And then you come back to England and you played the likes of Bury, and you play Blackburn and people like that, and it's this is different because it does feel like for all these teams who are over in Austria, because obviously this is not just obviously Everton and Sion and Monaco. There's a few teams over in the surrounding areas playing in this Alps tournament thing, which obviously is not a tournament. So
football festival.
Yeah, so there's a lot of teams out there doing the same thing, all just playing, all just training in a lovely place to train, and then they go for test the fitness in a game. Whereas beforehand or other years, you start to go to like Championship or especially League One teams, who it feels a bit more of a game because
they want to win.
They want to win. Their fans want to win. You know, they always start a week earlier than us, so the fitness is always a little bit, and it feels like you push that little bit extra in those games. Whereas in this game, sitting with the surroundings from what we've seen on Sunday, it can almost become quite a leisurely pace because there's no pressure on the players. It does feel like a training ground game. It looked like that on Sunday. I can't see Friday being any different. They look like training games with a few spectators knocking around, and I think that actually is better for the teams involved, because it's almost like they can control the tempo. When them games, especially those local games pre-season, it feels like the crowd sometimes can carry that tempo away, and players start getting involved in things that they shouldn't really be getting involved in. Whereas I feel like Friday will still feel very much like a training game. Players will take it easy, and then Wednesday when we go to Wigan, and there'll be loads of Evertonians there because obviously it's our only fixture in the UK, in England. It'll go up another level because Wigan will be, we want to have a go at these. You know, we want to get stuck into these, show them what we're all about. And there'll be loads of Evertonians there, and that'll drive us on. So Friday, I think, will still be quite leisurely, and then the step up to Wednesday will be, I think it'll be quite big actually. It'll be more intense.
To me, it feels like a proper pre-season this year, though. It
feels like an old-fashioned pre-season.
Yeah, but
doesn't
what
it?
Other clubs do? When I look at other, I know they've got this tournament and these teams go out and play these, in America, and there's a big thing. But a lot of good clubs, even bigger clubs, have played these kind of things before. And I think with Everton, a lot of it's been localised too much with that. And I think you're right. I think going over here, playing a couple of these games against European opposition, then the Wigan game will be a big step up, because they will be snapping into people like Anthony Robinson, who will be playing immediately against Everton, wanting to show us what we've missed out on. We'll carry it as well.
That's what I was saying. Of the other teams involved in it, the other teams are trying to take out this exactly the same thing as we're trying to take out of it. No one's there to prove anything or to get a one-up on anything, or don't get me wrong, I would love to be involved in one of these tournaments abroad somewhere, but then you see games, I mean, it doesn't always work out. Some of them are poor, but then you see games like Leeds have played Man United, and you think, well, that can't be there's going to be no sort of gentleman's agreement. It's going to be a full house in front of loads of people.
They still want it.
There's teams over in Asia at the moment playing games from the Premier League. It's quite early, and yet that'll have a serious feel about it. Because
Leicester didn't remember, it was
no,
crap.
that was a little bit later though, wasn't that? I'm saying it felt a little bit later. Whereas in this, I just feel like it is that old-fashioned pre-season where you go up one by one, and it's up to the teams involved to say, well, we know what we both want out of this, and it's fitness, it's nothing else. And you're right. Previous years, we've stayed local or stayed in the UK, and then suddenly there's that. I don't know. I don't know. It just.
But you're always gonna get. I've played when I was playing. We played when I played at a club. We played like a non-league team or whatever. They won a bit, and then I've been on the other side of it where I play for a non-league team. I remember us playing Bolton I remember playing St Helens against Bolton. They had like Tony Philliskirk playing and people like that. We beat them 2-1, and we went into.
But that's what I'm saying.
Where they were there because it was a game, it was early on, but we wanted to prove something.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's a different.
That's what I'm saying about Wednesday. I think it's been done on purpose to say, well, this is a leisurely week, but not leisurely. And say the training is hard, and the games will be leisurely.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday is Wigan away, and I think that's a purpose thing to say. Well, you know what? There needs to be a step up in terms of your fitness because this game's going to be tougher. So I want to see that reaction.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying about pre-season. You're right what you're saying. The pre-season, forget out the opposition in terms of where we play or we're not in all these tournaments. In terms of how you step up, it's for me. It's been done. That Wigan game's been done there on purpose to say, right, well, that's the game where you're gonna have to go up another little level, and you hope that. Because I remember I went to Blackburn last season, and we were miles off, and they were right on it, and they beat us 3-0, and to be fair, they battered us that night. But when you look at it and go,
left a couple of naughty tackles in.
That was the thing. They left a couple of naughty ones. But when you think, well, does the manager want that step up? Because as a fan, you're sitting there going, oh, this is not looking great. Where the manager's thinking, well, I know the levels of the players' fitness, and I know their levels because I've probably been told, gets told what their levels are. And actually, this is the perfect thing for them because they're getting stretched. They're having to work that little bit harder. And if that comes at the right time in fitness, then that's fine. But what you don't want is to have a long week of training where people are tired because it's the first couple of weeks back, and then suddenly they're getting stretched. That's when you get injuries, and if you get a couple of injuries, that's probably why Walcott missed the entire last pre-season, getting pushed too hard at times. And so I think the balance hopefully is right. I mean, obviously we won't know for a while really, but
it looks like a good pre-season to me, the way they've got the game. I mean, for Monaco they've got obviously Falcao plays for them, but he won't be playing because of the thing. But they've got people like Alexander Golovin, Cesc Fabregas obviously plays for them, Chadley, who was at Tottenham. They've got Gelson Martins, who's a very good player, Kamil Glick, Sidibe, Jovetic, Ronnie Lopez, Naldo. They've got good, there's a lot of good players there. So regardless of the team they put out, they've got a lot of quality, it'll be interesting.
I do find it interesting though that they're playing back-to-back games, and they have been playing back-to-back games. I mean, that shows a different way.
Well, the Lausanne game was a game on its own, and they lost 2-1, but the other two games they played either side of that game have back-to-back games. So, I mean, I don't know how they do it. Does one team get an hour one day and half an hour the next, or whatever? It'll be interesting.
I suppose as well, depending on what their squad is, they might have brought like everybody with them, all their 23s, where we've completely separated.
Well, again, be 5-0 by Locher, and they probably have brought a lot of younger players as well, haven't they? Because they've got enough quality not to lose that. But I think it will be an interesting game for us, because I do expect us to have stepped up a little bit from last week. Obviously, all eyes will be on Fabian Delph, because there always is. New players always interest you, don't they? So, be interesting. He'll be in the middle of midfield, obviously. And I wonder if he'll start with Gomez, and it's the first bit of trying to get them a relationship together on the pitch, see how they work, because we know that PSG are monitored. I got basically.
Well, they won him. We all know they won him.
They're probably going to get Garner this time, I feel. So,
I think he'll come on in the second half. I think Schneiderlin will start the game with Garner.
Do you?
Yeah, I think Gomez will start with Schneiderlin, and then Delph will come in the second half. Because there's no point, is there? What's the point in throwing everyone in together?
But I would imagine, I mean, that could be exactly how they do. It could be Delph McCarthy second half, but I just think it'd be an interesting thing if they played Gomez and Delph to start, and they've just played half a game, because he's only going to play half a game, although he has been training with City anyway, so he's done his pre-season. But it'd be interesting to see. Like you say, it's the only little bit of disappointment I've got is that final third is where we're looking.
Well, we haven't got any centre forwards, have we?
But we've got next Monday, and Yerry Mina returns to training. Dominic Calvert-Lewin returns to training, but Charlison's the end of the week.
Don't forget, whether you like them or not, we've got 3 centre forwards at our club, or nearabouts, and none of them are available.
Yeah.
Cenk Tosun.
Seen Tosun doing a bit. I wonder if Tosun will be involved.
Cenk Tosun, Richarlison, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin are not available, and there are 3 centre forwards. Whether you think they are 3 acceptable centre forwards, that's a completely different chat. But there are 3 centre forwards, and they're not available. So we are relying on.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's the only little bit of a disappointing thing about the game, and that is that we haven't got players who you'd like to see. And that, for me, the most important bit of the pitch was at the top end of the pitch, because it's the goals bit. But like you say, it's another chance for Nathan Broadhead. There'll be another chance for Fraser Hornby to put himself about a little bit more, get on the end of things, and then we see where we go. And hopefully Walcott will be available because he played no part. I know, yeah, but it's like you're saying, we want him to have a pre-season, but he needs to play games as well. The last pre-season, it was the first game he was involved in was the Valencia game, and that was it, the week before the season. So you want him to be playing games for you know, his own sake, and to try and play himself into a little bit of form.
Yeah.
You know, and a bit of confidence, so that when we start the season, he's not going to be in the team, but he'll be on. Well, he might not be in the team, and therefore you want him coming off the bench and flying, don't you? But we'll have to see. Like you say, it'll be. You know, we've got these Friday. We're back to England on Saturday, I think, and then it's Wigan, isn't it? And then they go off to Germany next weekend for the Opel Cup, which is again, there'll be a different test to 60-minute games on the same day.
Which again's good because then you can push players
for an hour,
and then push another team for an hour and get everything out of them.
Yeah,
and that'll be good.
That'll be. Do you think? Just finally before we finish, and that's a different video because obviously you'll preview it next week. But just quickly looking at it now, do you think that? How do you think he'll take that squad for that Opel Cup? Because obviously he's going to have 2 teams. So are you thinking a lot of these youngsters who are here now will be there as well in Germany? Because that
some of them might be, won't they? I would imagine.
I think Lewis Gibson probably will.
And it depends who we can get rid of as well.
Yeah, suppose so.
Who we can get rid of.
Morales goes in that time.
He'll still want players to make up the numbers, won't he? I'd imagine.
Well, you've got to, haven't you? Especially like you're saying, if you've got to push them for 60 minutes, if you want to try.
Some of those players might go back and start training with the under-23s, and then on that for that weekend they might go just to make up the numbers, mightn't they?
Yeah. Interesting. Let us know what you think. Are you looking forward to this Monaco game? Or you're not bothered?
Baz, you're looking forward to this.
I'm looking forward to the surroundings when we get there. I'll be honest, a bit to and from it. I'll sleep on the way home.
I just hope I can sleep on the way there at some point. Otherwise, Friday's gonna be a very long day.
They'll have to be.
You might find me just like on that piece of grass somewhere, just fast asleep.
Right. As long as you got your factor 30, and it's going to be 25 degrees and sunny.
It is.
So you have to have your
factor
50. You're going to have to shunking hat. Interesting. Yeah. There you go. Let us know what you think. Are you looking forward to it? Are you bothered? Is it just purely a fitness exercise? And yeah, we're going to win.
Hopefully, score some goals.
Score some goals at least. I think we're going to win. We're going to win 3-1. Hat-trick from Nias in 8 minutes.
Fair enough.
I mean, imagine if Nias's boss and Monaco were like, we need someone who can run the channels like him with hair like that.
Yeah.
We can only hope.
Yeah, can only hope.
Listen, Sandro's whacked the free kick in from 25 yards.
He did do that.
Means Umar can score a bicycle kick from the edge of the box. See you later.